What's up, Dragon Brood? I gotta give you all a heads up here. I may or may not have content tomorrow. This would be the first time in 14, almost 15 months that I would not have posted a video on a particular day, but it's partially because I just got my second COVID shot. So we're gonna see how it affects me tonight and tomorrow, and we may or may not get something out, but we'll see. Today, though, we had this very interesting situation happen. I happened to be making a bunch of decks. I let people in chat decide what they wanted to see. And well, we ended up playing a deck that rattled off a ton of wins. Basically, rolled through Platinum at 18-4, I believe was the final count, and went undefeated against Yorion decks. I know that sounds crazy, but we played 7 of them. So that's quite a lot. And it was really fun. And it's not what you would think. Well, guess maybe so because you saw the thumbnail, but that's the giveaway. But either way, let's get into the deck list, talk about this crazy pile of stuff I put together. So this list, I believe what I'm calling in this video is Hasty Gruul. Now, the concept here is I did build this somewhat with Yorion in mind, which is great because it means it worked. The idea, though, is that the way some of these decks are working is they're getting a free turn to set up, search for a thing, draw some cards. On the turn following them using, say, 2 removals or a big sweeper or something. And this takes away that option because every creature practically has haste. So you're able to keep the pressure up every single turn. And you can come over the top with flyers. You have a couple of tramplers. So like lots of things are going on with this list that we really like. So let's get into this list here. Now we're playing Shock. And I know people are going to look at this and be like, why Shock? Why are you not playing, I don't know, Scorching Dragonfire? Or why are you not playing Fervent Champ? Or whatever. Like, here's the thing. Like, Fervent Champ, unfortunately, unless you get another Fervent Champ, doesn't really do much in this list. It's just a 1/1 haster, and that's not really good enough. It doesn't do anything, right? Now, in multiples, it's going to be fantastic. Feel free to play them if you want to. I would not recommend it. Shock also allows us to win some other matchups that we wouldn't necessarily win when we're focused on beating the Yorion decks. So Shock lets you take out early clerics, lets you take out Luminarch aspirant. You know, I mean, if you have to get rid of something to get a creature back so you can keep attacking, maybe you want to get rid of an apparition. Let you kill an opposing robber of the rich. You know, lots of different things early on that this can do to help you bring balance back to the game state while you're trying to get in with your bigger creatures later. Also, Shock can be a finisher, which we do use it that way a couple of times. Then we have Robber of the Rich. Not only is it really good in here, but because you have something like Shock, you can fire off a card in your hand on that first turn, then go ahead and play a land in Robber of the Rich, so you get your hand size down and allow you to get those triggers to set up cards for the future. Always fantastic. Then we're playing 4 Brushfire Elementals, just because it can get bigger. We do have some Fable Passages that can give us some bigger attacks, but in general, it's also hard to block. So when you're playing against something like the Pest decks, they have a bunch of 1/1s. Those can't block Brushfire Elemental, and that actually becomes important in a few matchups. One Galea, just trying it out. It does have haste, can let us cycle through our hands a little bit if we get some lands later. So we're going to see how this works out. One Arnie Broken Brow. It's a 3/3 for 3. And one of the reasons I'm considering Arnie, one, other than the attack can be huge, which is awesome just out of nowhere, it does also give us the option of having another 3 toughness creature. We do have several things that are 1 and 2 toughness, so you want something just a little bit bigger. So we're going to see how it holds up in these games. Then we're playing 2 Bolt Hounds because a haste creature that gives more damage, awesome. Bone Crusher Giant, you know, best red card in Standard. I mean, no question. We all know about it at this point. 3 Phoenix of Ash. Now, this card we do like for a couple of reasons. One, it is coming over the top and just attacking with haste, which is great. It flies. But it also does let you use your mana late, so it's a good mana sink. It can be played out of the graveyard. It can shrink your graveyard when you're playing against rogues. So it's doing a few different things in this list, which we really, really like. So maybe we're going to go up to 4 of these. I don't know. We'll talk about that later. We have 3 Questing Beasts. This is kind of the only thing we're playing at 4 mana, though we can actually play a creature plus Shock, creature plus Stomp. We can also just play like Phoenix plus a Shock, which is nice on 4 if we have to, or just play a Phoenix out of the graveyard. But at 4, we do have Questing Beast, because again, it can't be blocked by the small creatures. You know, it can take down Planeswalkers. it's just a big body that's hard for people to deal with, and it does have death touch. So occasionally, if you have to punch past something like, I don't know, Elder Gargaroth, like Questing Beast could be your dude. Then Goldspan Dragon. This is again just a haste creature, comes over the top, gives us mana, lets us double down on some things like Embercleave if we want to. Also, there is 2 Vorinclex in here. We don't really have anything that gets counters of our own necessarily, except for with the Great Hinge, which we have sitting just below it. But it can stop some of the opponent's stuff, which is nice. And it's 6/6 haste. I mean, it's a big 6 ball, so even if your opponent sweeps the board and you can find a way to power through another 6, that can be enough to end the game all on its own. Then, like I said, there's a couple of Great Hinge, 2 Shatter Skull Smashing, 1 Castle Embereth, 7 Mountain, 5 Forest, 4 Crag Crown Pathway, 2 Temple Abandon, and 3 Fable Passage. The 3 Fable Passage is kind of really why we're trying it's there because we're trying to balance the number of tap lands we have coming into play, right? Because our whole plan is to play on time and have haste abilities. We can't really afford to have too many lands coming to play tapped, because if you get off that plan, you're kind of losing the benefit of why you're playing the deck in the first place. So, I mean, there's a lot of times I do want that 4th Fable Passage, so we'll see. But between Castle Embereth, the Temple's Abandoned, the Fable Passage, like something's probably going to have to go. So we'll talk about that on the other side. But as always, check out the games. Then on the other side of the games, we'll talk about updates to this list, what we think it should look like going forward. And we have a card spotlight for you, as usual, at the end of all of our gameplay videos. Okay, we'll keep. Playing against Yorion. Okay. I mean, to assume our Robber of the Riches just die? Oh, that just gives them the same number of cards, so we don't get a freebie from the Robber. Ooh, they bottoms too, though. I feel often early when people bottom 2, they're looking for lands. And that's probably not always true, but that's what it feels like. Alright. I'm just gaining life there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can get ourselves, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7. So we get down to 5, or to 6. Then we can get down to 5 cards is the best we can do. I say if we're going to do that, then maybe we should just straight up play a bunker. No. You know what? Let's just shoot their creature. Mostly because if they tap out or something weird next turn, we could play Galea and Robber of the Rich. Well, I mean, we still get to play them, but they're not going to be as effective as we wanted them to be. Good news is we do have Dragon on deck. Ooh, and we get a Elspeth's Nightmare from them. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I got nothing to take. We got all the goods out of our hand. Doom Foretold. Okay, resolve. Well, looks like old Galea, you gots to go. Now the amusing thing is, what do we play here? Because we could Dragon, doesn't mean we have to give up the Robber of the Rich. We could attack, play their Elspeth's Nightmare. Maybe just sack that next turn, which feels okay. That's not bad either. Okay, let's do that. Oh, Treacherous Blessing. Well, I might want to do that. I mean, I do like the idea of Elspeth's Nightmare to take something big out of their hand, but do we Treacherous Blessing? I feel like we do. Yeah, sure. I mean, what are they going to do? I mean, it's not often you get to steal their Treacherous Blessing, right? And then just play it, and then get the benefit. Alright, Golden Egg. So, I mean, we could have multiple things to sacrifice if we need to. So that's the good news here. We're going to get rid of their Treacherous Blessing. Which, I don't know why that amuses me to no end. It shouldn't be that funny, but it is. Alright, so here we can go, like, Bone Crusher. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So we can't get below the number of cards. Unless we want to try to sneak through a dragon. Which I'm going to assume gets killed. I mean, it's probably a bad assumption, but sure. Okay. Alright, opponent's at 4. We're gonna go ahead and play this Elspeth's Nightmare. And then the idea here is that this is kind of like, if you think about it, the deck that we are probably best against because of Doom Foretold. Now, admittedly, they can shatter the sky here. Yeah. Get a card. Oh, well, we got a shock. And, yeah, okay. They're going to be at 4. We're going to discard. Huh. Well, we just attack with the dragon, right? Game's just over? So yeah, let's just get rid of that. Like, I'm just realizing, like, we have a dragon and we have a shock. Like, that's more than enough. This is the benefit of having hasty creatures, though. This is a matchup that plays totally in our favor. Yep, and then just a shock to go with the face. It's not the coolest name. Let's see, we get to go first? Yeah, sure, we'll keep it. Hey, Zach, thanks for the like, friend. Also, don't forget, if y'all have not followed the page, please do so. It should guarantee or at least increase the odds that you get the notifications and stuff when we go live. Ruin Crab. Well, we don't want Ruin Crabs. But I do want access to the opponent's stuff, so I'm down. Also, the big thing is, too, don't forget, Robber the Rich actually has reach. Which is muy importante, as they say. Alright. There's a couple things there. And this is always the weird part, right? Like, does the opponent want to remove things, counter things, or play things? Okay, they're opting to play things. Alright. Ooh, we got a Phoenix in the yard. I like that. Like that a lot, actually. That is great. Sign me up. Question is, does Bone Crusher go to town now? We could use Bone Crusher later. So I'm not really going to worry about it as much as we can actually get more damage in here. Oh, I was going to say, I didn't even get access to cards from the opponent. So disappointing. Alright. We're getting some chip damage in. I don't know if that's going to matter in the long run, but we'll see. But we do have cards right now the opponent doesn't like, right? They don't like us having Phoenix. They don't like Questing Beast. They don't like Bone Crusher. So all this kind of plays in our favor at the moment. Another Thieves Guild Enforcer. That's annoying, because now the single Bone Crusher is not enough. If we find an untapped red land, I was going to say, though, we could have the Phoenix come over the top, which wouldn't be the worst thing. Alright. So let's go with that. We get to remove 3 things. Let's go with this. This. We don't need them stealing an Embercleave at any point. Probably don't need them stealing Vorinclex. I mean, oh, well, they're not anyway. They're playing Luris. How many cards that leave us? Exactly 8 cards in the yard. So we can attack with everything. They could block and kill our duders. Alright, we're just going to do this. Force you to deal with that. Because again, we have haste stuff, so once we are ready to attack, like this Bolt Town is locked and loaded when the time comes. Alright, there's a Thought Thief, which I'm assuming this means they have another counter of some sort. So we're really trying to create a situation, probably... Oh no, they're just going for it. Okay. Intriguing. So do we in turn attack and go for it? What are we looking to do here? I mean, we do have the ability to Embercleave through. The opponent only has 2 cards. Though we could get another Phoenix And even if the Phoenix dies, I mean, we could just infinite cycle the Phoenix. If we attack with everything, we do have the ability to Bone Crusher one of the thieves and then still Ember Cleave, which isn't the worst. Man, so many choices. I was like, we get Questing Beast, but that just gets blocked by a Thieves Guild Enforcer. All right, cool. Let's do this. And then I'm gonna do this to kind of show the opponent, like, hey, we are committing mana, so you decide what you want to do. Like, I'm down for this fight. Now, if this is all they're going to do, then I am very tempted to Embercleave the Bolthound and just have the opponent take 6, go to 9, and just be down to 2 creatures, and we can get back a Phoenix, so we're not that worried about it. And actually, getting back a Phoenix benefits us pretty significantly. And if the opponent's leaving mana up to tap out for a Saw It Coming, that's not the worst thing for us either. So now it's like, do you use removal or not? Also, the Thought Thief being reduced down to just 2 power is good as well, because it doesn't kill. Okay, well, that's going to be annoying, but not game ending. Okay, fair. So Questing Beast still doesn't... Ooh, Dragon's nice, though. What can we do with that? Alright, so if we attack with Dragon, it's going to get blocked regardless. We're only down to 21 cards, so we do have to be careful. This is going to be at least 6 minus 2, so it's going to be at least 4, so they got to block the Robber. So I'm assuming Robber gets blocks there. Whatever we attack with in the air gets blocked by the Merfolk Wind Robber. Okay. I think this is what we're going to do then. Oh, actually, it's going to be... Oh, no. Yeah, Bolthound pumps other creatures, not itself. Alright, let's see what happens. Oh, you're talking about the Mark Rober video? Yeah, you got to work for the Birdseed, man. The amount of work he puts into his stuff, though, is so good. Alright, so they're going to take 6, drawing a card. We do have a Drown in the lock to use on... Oh, actually, we won't have access to the Drown after this turn, though. I should have used that to kill something. Alright, that was a mistake. I could have actually kept our other creature alive. We'll see if it matters, though. Because now they have to play blocker and kill card here at least. And they know a Phoenix is coming. So they have to have effectively 6 mana. Okay, that's not true. Okay, there's... Oh, well, now they're dead. Yeah, there's nothing they're going to have here that's going to matter. Because even if they play a 1 mana blocker, we have Phoenix and they're dead. Alright. Took care of Rogues. Gotta love it. I'm even going to go the hard way. Alright. Here's another Yorion deck. This is not going to go nearly as well on the draw, but let's keep it anyway. We'll probably go Brushfire into... Ooh. Yeah, we'll keep that. Hey, thanks for following, Chris. So we're going to go Brushfire, I think, and just see if the opponent wants to kill that first. Looks like no is the answer. They don't even have a flat. They don't even have, like, the Omen of the Sea? They must just have a bunch of sweepers in hand. That's concerning. Oh boy, Valky, you're going to get to pick from 80 things, friend. Sadly, our opponent's going to be getting a Questing Beast. Opponent. I mean, if I was them, I'd probably take Questing Beast, but I don't know what the rest of their hand looks like. I mean, Arnie's pretty stout too, though. And we're going to play Arnie or Bolthound next turn. Like, unless we draw a shock, then I just shock their Valky and then play, like, Galea or something. Yeah, Questing Beast makes the most sense to me. Because even if they do nothing else, it's still reasonable to just play that. Alright. And then I guess we can Arnie here. I'm just like, if we bolt down, it's 4, 5, 6. If we Arnie, it's 6. Next turn, it would be 4. Would be 3. 4. So that's 7 plus 2. Or we could do this. Alright. I guess we do this. This feels like it's more damage over 2 turns. We're going to go this way. Plus, if they just turn our thing into, turn Valky into a Questing Beast, we can still attack with everything and force Questing Beast to block down a Bolt Hound to survive. And then at any point Valky dies, we just get a Questing Beast back anyway. So now it's on the opponent what they want to do here. Ooh, a Binding of the Old Gods. Good call, good call. Can we get enough damage in now? Now we want a 2-mana haste thing. Another Brushfire Elemental or a Robber of the Rich would be awesome. That is neither of those things, deck. You did not try nearly hard enough. Alright, then I guess we're going to do that. And Bolt Hound, I suppose. See what we can do. That's going to be 6, put the opponent down to 7. Probably not enough, I would imagine. I mean, we could get lucky if they do... Ooh, Elspeth's Nightmare. Okay. That is a problem. Again, still looking for a 2-mana haster of some variety. I would accept many things. Come on, deck. Be there. Or even just a Questing Beast of our own, actually. Like, there are a lot of things I would be happy with here. That was not one of those things, sadly. I mean, a Brushfire Elemental? Does that... I don't think that solves any of our problems. I mean, it's neat and all, but I don't think it's what we're looking for. Alright, so if these get through, opponent is down to just 2, which means they are now dead to Bonecrusher Giants and Shocks, which we have 8 total left in the deck. So 8 outs plus haste things. I mean, we lose the Great Hinge, but that's not a card we were going to cast anyway before things got bad, I imagine. Another Binding. Okay. There goes Galea. Not really how we were going to win anyway. Like, step 1 now, I guess, is draw land. Turn Brushfire Elemental into a 3/3. Then play Vorinclex. So even if they have an answer to Vorinclex, then they have to block Valky. Or block with Valky, so we get a Questing Beast next turn. So we have that as a minimum. Come on. Ugh, that was not what we were looking for. Yeah, okay. Well, if they have an answer, they have an answer. Oh, they don't! Oh. Alright, we're definitely going to mulligan here. That is significantly better, so we're going to keep... And we're going to toss... Goldspan Dragon? Yeah, that's exactly it, Zachary. And if you kill the what you call it, Sedgemoor Witch and those decks with any kind of regularity, they do suffer quite a lot. So the Witherbloom Pests are neat. Like I said, I've built a couple. I have 1 or 2 on the channel. They're neat. I've enjoyed Sedgemoor Witch, though, in like decks like we played yesterday on the channel, where I can just kind of just do my thing, and the lands from the Sedgemoor, or the tokens from the Sedgemoor Witch are just a bonus. Alright, don't know what the opponent's doing here. This is not typical cycling, unless we're just playing this as a red-white land. Okay. So it is cycling, just a weird take. Alright, good news is we can do a lot of damage. So how much do we want to try to do? And is playing Bonecrusher just better? No, it's not, actually, because this is going to come into play tapped. So we need to go ahead and do that this turn. Because then we can Questing Beast. possibly Bone Crusher or play an Embercleave. Like, there's options. All right, they are just cycling hard here, though. All right. What are we up to here? Got to keep a count. They're at 5. 6. And we didn't find a 4th land? They did. All right. They're at 7. Okay. Well, we know what we're up against at this point. It's just, can we race fast enough? I mean, if they have both of them in hand already, we're just in trouble. Like, there's not a lot we're going to be able to do. Because they might hit us with one right now. Or they might just hit Questing Beast right now. I mean, that would be a legit play too. I think what... trying to figure out like when we can deploy this Embercleave. Weirdly wish this wasn't tapped. Well, it wouldn't do much here though. Okay, Valiant Rescuer. That doesn't do much because the tokens can block... Oh, actually the tokens can't block anything. The Rescuer can block a Brushfire Elemental. They're at 8. Okay. This is actually really good. Because they're likely not playing Shocks or anything. We can Embercleave this. Oh, actually, is that just lethal? If we Embercleave? Because even if this blocks, we give this the Embercleave. That'd be 8 minus 1 is 7 and 4 is 11. Yeah, so no matter which way we do this. Okay. That feels correct. I'm just like double checking if is there something obvious I'm missing. I mean, I guess they could have a removal card here and just throw us for a loop. But if they have it, they have it. Like I'm willing to gamble. I mean, what you doing? Okay, they don't have it. We're good. Tokens can't block anything here. They're unblockable in this scenario. So the Valiant Rescuer has to go to work. If it doesn't, they're just dead. Well, they're dead anyway, like I said, because we just Embercleave whatever it blocks. Yep. That's going to do it. Ooh. Ooh. Love it. Love it. Saying she's fairly strong. Well, Winota's been strong. That's not new. The problem, here's the thing though, like the problem with Winota though, is I think a lot of people try too hard to how to play against it. The trick is just leave yourself situations where you're able to block down the non-human or leave mana open to remove Winota. And then just try to get them on the backswing. That's usually what I do. Like, and obviously nothing's perfect. I mean, Winota decks are good, but I'm going to bet you don't have a counter. Actually, you don't. You don't. I'm going to will it to not be there. You're just going to flash in a Omen of the Sea. Exactly. See? Sometimes you just know, team. Sometimes you just know. Part of the cards, as they say in the Yugi Mans. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get a forest here since I know I have a mountain in hand already. Oh, crap. I meant to get a forest. I have said mountain and clicked the mountain. Oh, well. We'll just Phoenix of Ash and then shock them and hope that's good enough. If I draw a Questing Beast, this is going to be savage that I don't have a forest because I just wasn't paying attention. Okay. We'll go Phoenix number 1. Well, these are going to get leveled up from landfall. We're going to go Phoenix. This is actually important kind of for them to stop the Phoenix, really, because it also means if they have an extinction event next turn, they're only going to be able to get rid of one of these. But now I think we have lethal no matter what, because we can just shoot them for 2 at the end of their turn. Even if they found a way to get rid of both of these, we just have a Phoenix again. Yep. Okay, this one here we are going to keep, because this is pretty nice. If we get another green, it'd be fantastic. However, though, Shock is usually pretty bad against Yorion decks. Good against everything else, though. Enough that I'm tempted to just shoot the opponent just to keep our hand low. But I'm not going to do it just yet. Them not knowing feels like a benefit to us, like how to manage their turns or their hands. So the less information they have, the better. And this is one of the few times, this is the one deck where like, I am okay taking lands off the top, right? If the opponent has fewer lands to work with, that is huge for us. This is also huge. Getting this Fable Passage here. We're going to go ahead and get a forest. Get in for 7. Steal a card from the opponent. Fantastic. Downside here is, if we play Questing Beast, we kind of need it to be all in. Or else if they Extinction Event, we're going to be in trouble. Because everything would be even. Though, let's see. I was thinking if they played... Okay. Because my first thought is if they played the Elspeth's Nightmare there, it could have been kind of bad. Because then we would have just played a land, attacked for 7, opponent would have been at 4. But now we drew the second shock. So now I think we're all good again. We went from maybe bad to good to really good, I think. Because now they take 7. So even if they play Shadow's Verdict, we're just going to blast them for 4 no matter what. Yeah, okay. I mean, something dies here, I'm sure, with the Heartless Act. Okay. I don't know how we would lose here. Oh, no, it's only 6. Oh, I did bad math. Okay, well, now the Extinction Event. Or Shadow's Verdict, either or. We need another haste creature. We need something that costs 4 or less that can get in some damage so these shocks can do the work. What? What you got? Keeping us in suspense here. They're debating between using an Extinction Event or a Shadow's Verdict. That's what it feels like. Okay, this is a weird way to get to 6 damage deck. Alright. You're going to let us attack with the Robber? Okay. And you're just going to take the damage? I'm like, what's up here? This is weird. Something's... I was like, what's going on? All right. Like, something didn't sit right there. All right, so they're going to take 1. Nope, they're not going to take any. Okay. Then I think I'm going to go ahead and use the Omen of the Sea. Do we even want to leave those in that order? I mean, we're hoping to not even need those, right? That's the goal here. All right, so we're going to shoot the opponent for 2, shock the opponent. If they counter those or do anything, they'll probably want to try to counter the Bone Crusher Giant. Then we could just come in with the Goldspan Dragon, hopefully. And then we'll still have Shock as a finisher. Okay, Omen of the Sea is fine. I'm not even going to respond to that. I feel like we put together a little package here that we can win. Regardless of what happens here. This is strong, considering they went triple removal and have hit all their land. But we did manage to remove an Emergent Ultimatum along the way. Alright, we're all good now. Like, we actually can't lose from here. Because now, even if they target the dragon, because they don't have blue to counter, we'll get up with treasure. We'll just light the opponent up. They don't have a way to stop us. We're going to go dragon. Get in there. Get it done. Boom. You know what that is? That is 4 Yorions up, 4 Yorions down. So yeah, y'all, I have to admit, like, this deck supremely outperformed what I expected it was going to. Now, don't get me wrong, it's still a small sample size, but it is 22 games. So that's quite a bit to at least start making some assumptions. I don't want to say this is an outright Yorion killer, but it kind of was a Yorion killer, so I don't know what to make of that. Also, oh, excuse me. I'll also say that you do have to be concerned with some things like Elder Gargaroth, could be a problem. You may want to just have some situations where you can save a burn spell or two. But, even something like Golgari that's just playing, the slow, long defensive, a bunch of removal, whatever, could be a small bit of a problem, but it can be overcome. But that's kind of like your other big issue. We did manage to win some games against mono white aggro, but I would put that in the category of being a potential problem. Just because they can come at you about as fast as you're going at them, they also have the ability to get some life gain if you don't manage your stuff correctly, so you will have to keep your removal at a premium in that matchup. For today's card spotlight, we're going to talk about kind of a brand new card here in Sedgemoor Witch. And the reason I'm bringing this one up, which probably would have been better to do on yesterday's video because we actually played Sedgemoor Witch, but this is actually a card that I think could still go up even higher in value. I think this could end up being one of those cards that gets played all through its life in Standard, and it's already popular. I mean, people like making all the pests. I must see it in decks at least 2 or 3 times every day when I get on in ladder. So we're seeing a lot of this card already, and I expect when we get into paper and people are playing more in their retail stores, this is going to be a pretty popular card for a lot of people. So do not be surprised if this card slowly climbs over the $10, $12 mark right now, where it's hovering around 7 or 8, I believe. Not saying to rush out and buy them, just saying if you do need them, now is probably a better time to buy them than later. Also, don't forget, as always, if you want today's deck list, it will be down in the description below, where you can also get links to our Discord, to our Facebook gaming streams, and to our Twitch streams. If you want to come by, say hi, be part of stuff, or even just share your deck list in the Discord and get some help. That's the thing we're doing for everybody there, and we have over 400 people hanging out and having some fun. Also, if you are shopping at TCGPlayer or on Amazon, remember we do have links to those there as well in the description, and if you shop through those links, doesn't matter what you're buying, I'll get a 1 to 3% kickback and you'll be helping me and the channel out. And finally, if you haven't, you've come this far, I'm super appreciative. Your views and view time really are important. But please remember, if you haven't, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. That lets me know you appreciate what I'm doing and lets you know every time I have a video up. But that's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.